I've struggled with boils since I was 17 or 18, and I noticed how annoying they get. For my girlies out there with boils or abscess, if you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, you're just watching it out of curiosity. What happens is your body forms little lumps of abscess under your skin, and it hurts like crazy. And these lumps will form in places where skin is the thinnest. Underarms, I've had on my elbow. The elbow was crazy. Inner thighs, I've had one at the back of my thigh, and they still keep popping up sometimes, but I've done enough research. I've used enough products to know now what hygiene routine works best to minimize the frequency. My first tip for minimizing the frequency of boils, see this? Throw it out. Throw away your shaving blade or keep it away from your thin skin area. Shaving causes little cuts on your skin, and these incisions get infected, and that infection is what causes the boils to form. So opt for something like this shaving cream. I use the Veet shaving cream sensitive. Is this a sensitive one? You just put it on for 10 minutes and then you scrape it off. No cuts, nothing. You can opt for something like waxing, laser hair removal. If you must shave, I know those times come. I personally haven't done it since 2019. I learned my lesson because I did a quick shave and I got infected. But if you must do a quick shave, use coconut oil. Coconut oil has antibacterial properties. It also surprisingly works as a deodorant, but I'll get into that a bit later. This is a random coconut oil. I have this, it's almost out. Actually quite accessible. I think this is like 15 bucks. Another oil I've heard is good for alternative to coconut oil is neem oil or tea tree oil after shaving. The next step is going to be so controversial, but I need you guys to trust me, okay? I have had a boil problem, like I said, since I was like 17. I have tried everything and I have found that this is what works best. Okay babes, you guys are going to have to trust me here. Leave regular deodorant alone. I know it's summer, it's hot, steaming up, we're in cars or in public transport, it's cramped, or at parties. I know, but I will provide alternatives to regular roll-on. Regular antiperspirant contains aluminium. It clogs your pores. Clogged pores causes boils. I've been told this by a doctor. I had a boil in 2017. I was in SA. New Year's Eve, it randomly popped and I had to go to the emergency room, and she said, babe, it's your deal. The solution about what you do with the smell, you don't use regular deodorant. Find things that will kill the bacteria on the surface of your skin, because what causes odor is sweat is scentless. When it makes contact with the bacteria that lives on your skin, it then causes an odor. Sweat itself is nothing like harmful or whatever, but once it makes contact with the bacteria on your skin, it causes the odor. So what to do with the odor is find things that will kill the bacteria. Just the best product out there to use, glycolic acid from brands like The Ordinary. Put that on your underarm after a shower, or use benzoyl peroxide face wash, an underarm wash, because it will kill the bacteria under there as well. Now if you're like me, I have looked for benzoyl peroxide since 2021, the very first time I learned about the fact that benzoyl peroxide can be used in your underarms. I have looked at every discount. I was in Francistown because I live in Pico. I was in Francistown looking for it, a specific one anyway, the face wash. I couldn't find it, and so I did my research and found out that there's an ingredient in the household that can mimic the benefits of using glycolic acid and benzoyl peroxide on your underarms. Lemon, the fresh lemon. I press it into like a fresh bottle, which is what I used to do. I think I'll insert a picture right here. Or cut little slices daily when it's time to use the lemon, and then apply the juice to your underarms for about 5 minutes before you shower. This is going to kill the bacteria that causes odor, and then washing it off with soap. You're wondering how then do we keep this going on for the rest of the day? There are alternatives to deodorant. I've heard people talk about natural deodorant. I haven't tried natural deodorant like native or anything like that, but I have used the Sanex 0% deodorant because it has 0% aluminium and 0% alcohol in it. In terms of odor stopping, that was great. The only thing, I ended up getting boiled in 2019, so I just never knew if that was just a bad luck thing, especially because I had shaved at the time, or if it genuinely was the Sanex that was not good for me. I recently discovered this Nivea Naturally Good 95% natural origin, and it has 0% aluminium as well, and it smells really good. Like cucumber, smells so fresh. Natural deodorant might not be that effective on its own since it doesn't have aluminium. That's why you have to combine it with the chemical stuff as well, where you kill the bacteria, and then for extra protection you're gonna use these types of deodorant. I recommended this to me and it changed my life. Okay, this is actually really good, and I like Dove because it smells really neutral. However, I've seen people talk about it causing boils for them, so I don't know, but I know that this and these types of deodorant are less likely to cause boils. I'm not saying 0% chance, but just less likely. Putting my trust in these is because I have used a lot of, or I have tried trial and error a lot of things about what to do with the odor. And I used to use the Sanex, like I said, I used the Sanex in 2019, and then I got the boil, and so I had to find other alternatives. I've tried witch hazel, I've tried coconut oil, and at the time I was in the Netherlands, so the weather was really cold. I wasn't sweating as much, and so I thought these were really good because they were at the time, like, they were good in the context of like colder weather. And then I came to Botswana still using these products, and I noticed that they weren't working for me anymore. They weren't as effective, so I was really struggling with like that odor for like a good second. And then I did my research, and I've since learned about the chemical method and the deodorant method. Everything I say has been tested and used. Step 2 was so long. Step 3 is to use antibacterial bath soap. The one I use is the Dettol bar soap, but I don't think it really matters. It's just that I kind of trust Dettol to be more antibacterial. Regular shower gel is kind of like using foam bath on your body. I use it as well just because it has an extra smell, but bar soap is your best bet at number 1, killing the bacteria that causes odor, and number 2, killing the bacteria that causes boils. And also after shaving or removing hair, the 4th step, to use a bentonite clay mask. This is the clay mask that I use. I got this from Discam. It's like no more than 30 pula, so it is very affordable. Plus, I think I've had mine since, oh my gosh, I've had mine for literal years. That's why it's almost done. To mix this bentonite clay with apple cider vinegar and water in a bowl like this, a plastic bowl with plastic cutlery, because metal spoons and stuff like that does not mix with bentonite clay. Apply this mask maybe once a week onto your underarms, at least in the beginning, like especially when you're making the transition from not using regular deodorant, when you're not using antiperspirant, to more natural methods. You're going to use this bentonite clay because it detoxes your armpits. I don't know how true that is, or if it's the placebo. If it is, that's fine. I don't think you lose anything from just trying. For me, I feel like it makes a difference. And then the more like your body adjusts to not using regular deodorant, then you can slow down the frequency of using this. The next tips for how to deal with boils are more about lifestyle changes. First thing is, I have noticed that when I get boils, my diet usually isn't that good. I'm taking in a lot of sugar. I remember when I got my boil last year, I drank so much 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜, so much of that purple 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜, because there's literal crack in it. I was drinking that 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜 like it was water, and I was drinking water, but that was just a lot of sugar content. I know for a fact sugar does increase my likeliness of forming a boil. The other thing is, I get boils during periods of high stress. When I first got my boil, I noticed it was during exam season, and it had been like that until I finished my A-levels. And the worst boil I got in 2019, it was while I was transitioning from living in Botswana to living in the Netherlands. Stress levels were high, and at that point I had done everything wrong. I had shaved with a shaving blade, and I had used deodorant. I mean, I was using the Sanex one, which is why I'm not sure if it was actually the Sanex. And I was also in a period of high stress, so I was really not doing good. I was on about 2 antibiotics, pain meds. I had a whole pharmacy in my basket. I will insert a picture. Yeah, and just an extra travel hack for someone if you are likely to have boils. Just take a little pouch like this. Find a little pouch in your house or buy one, and fill it with emergency stuff for your boils, because when I got to the Netherlands, I literally didn't have anything. I remember I was trying to tell them, can I have, what's it called? Like, what's the Dettol Savlon? I was like, can I have like Savlon? Like, what is it called? Antibacterial stuff. And the lady was like, huh? I had to use Google Translate, and they didn't even have the correct Savlon that I wanted. I ended up buying this, but I feel like it worked just fine. This is like a antibacterial spray. Obviously, when you have a boil, you have to keep cleaning it out before you change the dressing. I'm going to keep reusing this bottle. Okay, when this runs out, I'm gonna put regular Dettol or Savlon in it and use it as my antibacterial. So have this pouch of gauze. This is from Discam. It's quite full, but when I am traveling, I'll just take some of it out of here and put it into this little pouch to take with me. I have my bandages for in case I do get a boil, because I flipping hate it when boils show. This is just how I pack it when I travel. Put that in there and then take some gauze and put it up here. You gotta do what you gotta do, okay? And don't be embarrassed. I hope that these tips will come in handy for anyone else who needs them. If you have the privilege of being like, ew, lemon, food stays in the kitchen, that's good for you, okay? But some of us have struggled, so I will find alternatives anything that will improve the quality of my life. I hope that it does, these tips or this video does the same to you, because when I was deep in the mist I was struggling to find videos on it, and I found like one girl, I just forgot what her ad was, but I'll try to find the video as well, because some of these tips are from her and they came in so handy. Anyways,